everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Study With Me, Plan With Me video. First of all, just thank you to everyone who has been following along with my channel, and if you haven't already done so, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe, as it really helps my channel to grow. So today I am having a bit of a slow start to this Sunday. I have a big assignment coming up for my Masters in HR Management and my head felt a bit full, so I started the day with a nice coffee and I have sat down now at my desk to get organised. So I want to use this video to show how I plan out a university assignment in my HR planner. Sometimes the assignment itself can feel too big, so I like to break it down into small steps. Today is about setting myself up, planning the tasks, getting the dates into my calendar, and just building a study routine for the next 2 weeks that I can actually stick to. So I have my academic planner here. This is an A5 Motherm and it is specifically for my university. I have my inbox here, my outbox has undated calendars, and I have sections for each of my modules behind there. So I use it for deadlines, weekly goals, tracking how much time I actually spend on each module and taking notes on assignments. And since this is a cross-modular assignment, so that means this assignment is worth 50% of 2 modules, I need to be a bit more intentional because it sits across both performance management and reward. So I need to kind of map out everything before I start writing to make sure that I hit the marking assessment for both modules and for both topics. So I'll start by reading the brief again. I've checked with the lecturers what the lecturers want, and I've looked at what the rubric is asking for, and then I break it down into tasks like research, reading, making notes, drafting the slides on the actual presentation. Practicing the presentation is another important part because you have to keep to the timing, and if I don't plan this out, I know I'll end up rushing at the end. Okay, so I have read the brief and I understand what's needed. So this is an assignment around issues that the organisation is struggling with and could improve on, which could be tackled through changes to a reward or performance management approach. And we need to think about whether the organisation would be better placed to tackle the issues through changes to existing approaches or recommendations for a new framework. So this is particularly relevant to the organisation I work for, because we are actually after introducing a performance management framework this year, and next year we are going to look at how we can tie that to reward. So it's something that I understand, and it should be no problem for me to get started on this today. Okay, so I have started here in my inbox just mapping out a couple of the things I need to do. So the first thing I need to do is I need to plan the assignment and come up with the approach I'm going to take on it. And the second thing I'll do then is research. So I use Elicit AI for research, and Elicit AI is an AI search tool, and it's really great because as a HR manager, I have a lot of practical knowledge of the assignments I'm asked to write because I've done them in work at some stage. However, you need to link that back, the theory back to the assignment. So Elicit AI is really great because if you write a paragraph yourself, because you understand how it's applied practically in business, you can use Elicit AI to deep search for an article that is relevant to what you've written, and that way you can link the theory back with a peer-reviewed article. So that's a good tip. Elicit AI, check it out. It also takes the legwork out of doing a dissertation. It's a much faster way of searching for peer-to-peer reviewed articles. Okay, and then I'm going to have to draft the narrative and design the slides. And I'm also going to have to practice the timings once I have that done. So I am going to make a time lapse as well of me actually writing the assignment, and I'll insert that into the video again. So I'm going to just mark out dates in my calendar as well. So I actually have 3 assignments. So let me see here. Today is the 30th of November. So I'm going to need a new calendar for December. And Monday is the 1st. And we're almost into Christmas then already. And I'll have a break then for a couple of weeks until the second semester starts at the end of January. It's amazing how quick the semesters go when you're studying. They're really only 12-week semesters, and I think, you know, going back to university while you're working can be daunting for some, but if you think about it like that, it's actually only 12-week blocks, and it really does go fast. Okay, so I have my cloth and paper calendar here, and I'm going to just map out what I need to do for the next couple of days. So the cross modular assignment is due on Wednesday. I have a law essay due on the 12th. And we have a group presentation due on the 15th. So I have 2 presentations and 1 essay to do before the 15th, but I am traveling for work from the 9th to the 12th to the UK. So I need to have everything done by the 7th. I can work on the group assignment though at the weekend of the 13th. So I really only have 2 weeks to get all this done in between working 9 to 5 and keeping the house going as well. So it's really important that I stay on top of everything I'm working on in personal, work and college. Okay, so once I get all the tasks down, then I list them in order of priority. So the first thing I'm going to do is go away and research the assignment, find the content and the data I'm going to use for that, and make a start. I got a good bit done in that session. I printed out the first draft of my presentation so I can have a look at it properly. Seeing this in paper helps me spot anything I'm missing. It also makes me feel more real because the assignment has, you know, a lot of parts and I want to make sure that I'm covering everything the brief asks for. So this is kind of an outline of what I have so far. I have the intro to the organization, the issues and the approach to the analysis that I took. The main sections I have done on reward and performance management, and I have outlined my recommendations at the end. I still need to tighten up some of these points, but the structure is there now. So next I'm going to go through it all with a pen and I'll just mark anything, you know, that I want to, you know, that feels unclear or anything that needs stronger evidence and link it back to the theory. I'll also check the marking rubric again, just to make sure that I'm hitting the areas they want. And once I clean this up, then I can start shaping out the slides, you know, to look more professional. And this is the part that usually takes me a while, so I want to stay ahead of it. But for now, I'm happy that I got the draft done. So I think that's everything for today. I have the draft printed, I have my study plan in place, and I feel a bit more on top of this assignment now. So days like this help because the work feels less messy when I just break it down in my planner. You know, and I'll keep updating the draft over the next day or so and start building the final submission for Wednesday. So just to say, everybody, thanks for watching. And if you're working on your own assignments, I hope this has given you some ideas on how to plan them out. And stay tuned for the next video.